The event started with the appearance of a large, glowing white orb in the sky. This object showed no signs of being a conventional aircraft. It lacked required navigation lights, anti-collision beacons, wings, or any audible sound like engines or rotors. It descended steadily in altitude, moving directly over my location toward the nearby wooded land. As it reached the treetops, it hovered briefly just above them before plunging downward into the lower branches. Instead of continuing straight down, it made an abrupt left turn and appeared to submerge into the ground or vanish below the surface. The maneuver was precise and silent, defying typical aircraft behavior. Shortly after, I switched to recording on my iPhone to capture ongoing activity in the woods, precisely where the initial object had descended. What emerged was what I believed to be a plasma-like orb or entity, morphing in shape like a glowing, jiggling ball of Jell-O. It darted around erratically, almost as if playing hide and seek, weaving through the trees and occasionally pausing out of sight. I spent several hours throughout the night pursuing better footage, drawn by its elusive and fluid movements. This entity remained localized to the same wooded spot, exhibiting no sound or physical disturbance. Exhausted from hours of observation, I finally headed to bed around 2 a.m. Moments after settling in, my security camera sent a motion alert. Switching to live view, I saw the same orb-like entity emerging from the woods, the very one I'd been tracking. This short clip shows it rising in elevation, still resembling a hot, morphing Jell-O ball but now sparkling with golden hues and intense brightness. Notably, the footage pauses several times, which I've experienced in prior events when these objects approach cameras. In past recordings saved directly to memory cards, proximity has caused distortion. Here, the feed went through my internet, possibly due to interference. Intrigued, I got out of bed and rushed outside, leading directly into the next phase. By the time I stepped outside, the object had shifted westward, to my right, and was traveling southward through the air. It briefly rose above a nearby telephone line, where it seemed to rendezvous or interact with another similar object. Continuing west, it moved steadily away as I followed through my yard, explaining the occasional shaky camera work, as I was careful not to trip over obstacles in the dark. With about 25 seconds left in the clip, the object had distanced itself significantly, so I stopped recording to conserve battery and assess the situation. Just a few minutes later, as I scanned the area, the entity reappeared, heading back eastward toward me at a much slower pace. It felt almost intentional, as if it was aware of my presence and had returned to observe me in turn. While this is speculative, it had flown out of sight earlier, making its return puzzling unless it was a different but similar object, a possibility I can't rule out. However, given its trajectory back to the same spot near my power line, where it had interacted before, I lean toward it being the same entity. In this clip, it flashed irregularly and seemed to engage again with whatever was at that location, moving deliberately. I also panned up to the telephone pole, revealing what appeared to be a third, smaller orb nearby. Eventually, it departed northward, and I ended the recording as exhaustion set in. I needed to get some rest.